Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ursi. Good
Hi,
evening.
can you all
Hello.
see and hear me? Welcome, everybody. So I must apologize for the 2-minute delay. You never know what happened. Even in Spain, the power got cut off. That's what happened 3 minutes before the session. Anyway, welcome, everybody. Normally, I say welcome from sunny Barcelona each time. But this time I have to say welcome from very rainy Barcelona because it hasn't stopped raining since yesterday. And yeah, I'm living quite remotely and the power got cut off, but everything is back. I hope it will stay like this. All right. So, well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ursi Van der Herten. And I work in recruitment and admissions at Esade Business School. So I'm responsible for recruiting talent from Africa for the master programs, the full-time MBA, and then, of course, for the Executive MBA. So feel free to write in the chat where you are zooming in from. It would be nice to know where you are at this time. And I would like to invite you to keep your cameras on. But of course, switch off the microphone when you're not talking in order to avoid background noise. So you might hear the rain from my side. But yeah, I mean, the way I would like to structure this session, if that's okay with you, of course, I would like to talk a little bit about the program. And then I also would like to introduce you to my colleague, Belén de Fontcuberta, who's here with us. Hi, Belén.
Hi, Ursi. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. I mean, the information that you're going to give and share is going to be very valuable because I know that a lot of the candidates here are wondering, well, what is Esade doing regarding my career? So, so it's going to be very helpful to also have your insights here. And then, of course, I would like to welcome our students that are here with us and that accepted my invitation to join, to share their experience with you. So first of all, we have Henry from Nigeria, living and working in the Netherlands, who last week finished the program, right? The last module. Hi,
I just returned yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I left right on time. I didn't meet the rain.
Yes. You escaped the rain. You're back in Amsterdam now, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, great. Then we have Mponeng from South Africa, who's currently doing the program. Hi, Mponeng. You look beautiful. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Thanks for joining. And then we have Berna from Rwanda. Hi, Berna. How are you?
Hi, Ursi. Hi, Ursi. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Then Efeshiro, I'm not sure, I don't see her, but I think she's here from Nigeria. I don't know if she was able to join already.
I don't see Fedro yet, but
okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know when she joins.
Yeah, we still have the presentation to do, so I'm sure she will be joining a little bit later. All right, so welcome all of you. Thanks for joining. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you because I would like to, well, tell you a bit more about the program. In the meantime, if you have questions, feel free to write them in the chat. But just for you to know that at the end of the session, we're going to be dedicating some time for a Q&A. So you will have plenty of time also to ask your questions to our students that are present, to my colleague Belén. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, so you should be able to see my presentation. Yes?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, well, again, thanks for joining, Henry, Efeshiro, Berna, and Mponeng. We're gonna have a very interesting conversation with you in a little while. For now, I would like to tell you a bit more about Esade. And well, very briefly, some key facts and figures. So Esade has, I would say, 3 units. One of them is the business school, where our MSc programs, our full-time MBA, and our executive MBA belong to. Esade also has a law school and then our executive education. We have every year on campus more than 10,000 students and more than 120 nationalities. We have the triple accreditation, so not a lot of schools have this triple accreditation. If you want to learn a little bit more about what are those accreditations, I would like to invite you and look it up. Then Esade is working with more than 40 partner schools around the world on all continents. So depending on the program, we are working with those partners for exchange programs, for international weeks, for study tours, for electives, and so on. So I will give you a little bit more information about that regarding the Executive MBA. Then important, I think, when you join a school is, well, building up your network, right? Esade has a worldwide network. We have 74 international chapters. So that means that, for example, if you look at Africa, you see 1 dot. So we have an official alumni chapter with a board, with a president, which is in Johannesburg, so in South Africa, but that doesn't mean that we don't do alumni activities in other countries. To give you an example, in August, we did an event with, it was with our alumni association, and that was in Rwanda, which was a joint event with partner schools, with local collaborators. The same in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Namibia, and of course, South Africa, which are the countries that in sub-Saharan Africa, where we have more alumni and where we have been doing events like tech startup competitions, summits on entrepreneurship, like informal drinks and meetings, very often with the participation of the Spanish ambassador, of the consuls, and so on. So then the Alumni Association that you will be part of after graduation as also like interest clubs that are not region oriented, but like, for example, the entrepreneurship club, the marketing club, the finance club, tech club, and so on. And then we have more than 70,000 members around the world. So this is the alumni network, which is going to be important for you after the program, but then also during the program. But there's going to be a lot of interactions with alumni at different stages in the program. So maybe very shortly, something about the some more information about the rankings. Here you have a couple of them. You can see that our Executive MBA was ranked the 2nd worldwide in diversity in the QS rankings. Then we were ranked the 4th best in the world for executive education in the Financial Times. We were the best MBA, which was non-US, the 6th position in the Financial Times. And then in Europe, in the QS rankings, we were the 7th best executive MBA. So and we're very proud of this, and I'm very proud of our students that are here with us, because they are representing Esade, and of course they will be representing the school also towards future students, right? So in the current hybrid format, I will show you later that we have different formats of the Executive MBA. For those of you that are based in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, the hybrid format is the most, I would say, convenient, knowing that we have a combination of online classes and 1 week face-to-face modules every 3-4 months. So we have in this class, which is the 2nd edition that we have currently on campus, we have 49 participants. The average age is 38 years old, and the average work experience is 14 years. So the average age I mean, just to give you a better understanding, we might have a student that is 30 years old, but has a very solid work experience, maybe in managing a family business or managing his own business, right? His or her business. Then we might have a student who is 50 or even older, who wants to do the Executive MBA because he wants to, well, expand his business, or has a senior position in a company, but wants to know more about leadership, wants to be a better leader, and so on. And then a fact that we are very proud of, and you will also see in today's session, the fact that we have 3 female students, 1 male, and I think Henry is very, very happy to be surrounded by so many women today. So we have 59% of women in our current hybrid executive MBA class. Now, out of those 49 students, we have 32 countries represented. So you can see here, our students are coming from all around the world. Some of them have double nationality, which of course is mentioned here. We have students coming from Latin America, from Europe, from Africa, of course, from Asia, and from the Middle East. We also have a very good representation. So from Africa, you can see here representation from Eswatini, from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Rwanda, and then from South Africa. And okay, yes, Swaziland, Eswatini, it's there twice. But yeah, all right. So regarding the academic background, here you will see that 33% of our students have a business and management background, 24% engineering, and then the rest would be like technology, 14%, science, healthcare, 12%, and then social sciences, arts, law, and then other services. Regarding the sector of activity, here you can see, very interesting, a large representation from governmental international institutions, then also consulting, manufacturing, technology, and then financial services, fast-moving consumer goods, healthcare, and media. But the largest representations here are from governmental international institutions and then consulting. Now, regarding the program, so we're going to be concentrating mainly on the hybrid format today, because I said that that is the most convenient format for you, but just for you to know that we have 3 other formats taking place at the same time. So we have in English 3 different formats. We have a monthly format, which is taking place every month in Barcelona. Our students are coming 3 days every month. They have class Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They don't have online classes. So this is a format that is very convenient for executives that are living in Europe, not only Europeans, but then also expats that are living closer to the campus and that are able to travel every month 3 days. Then the same monthly format in English we have on our campus in Madrid. So we have an executive education campus in Madrid that also has its own, I would say, monthly format in English. And then, of course, we go to the blended hybrid format, which I'm going to explain a bit more right now. And our weekly format, which is taking place in Barcelona, but it is bilingual. So, of course, you have to know Spanish and you have to be present in class every week. Now, regarding the learning method, we have a very, I would say, a very innovative learning approach. First of all, our program is very practical. One of the main Esade values is the collaborative team spirit, and you will see that in all our programs. So there's going to be a very large focus on teamwork, on learning from each other. Our professors are all business practitioners, so they come with their business network, and that's why we have a lot of companies collaborating in programs, as coming to courses and speak, and also for the practical projects that you're going to be working on. So we have outdoor training. Of course, we also have case studies, coaching, mentoring, leadership speaker series, and then a simulation that is going to take place in the last term. Here you can see that the program is divided in 4 terms. And each term has a name, a topic. The first one is awareness, then building, connecting, and then deciding your journey. So in the last term, you will see that you are going to be deciding what you're going to be studying. You will have, for example, electives that are taking place that I'm going to talk a little bit in a little bit more in a little while. But then if we go back to module 1, 2, and 3, you see that there's a very nice combination of, I would say, the more traditional executive MBA courses like strategy, marketing, finance. But then you will also see that we added courses that I would say are not that typical MBA courses, but that we believe will add value to your profile to becoming a global leader. You will see there's geopolitics. We have developing a strategic mindset. We have, for example, in the second term, responsible business, your entrepreneurial mindset. We have global affairs, sustainability, leading change in your company. Now, besides those, I mean, the structure in 4 terms, we also have some topics that you will take with you during the entire program, like the leadership development program, where you're going to be working with a coach on your leadership development, of course. Then we have general management skills like negotiation, power influence, communication, neuroscience, and then your growth mindset. Esade has a very strong focus on entrepreneurship and innovation. So we have our own entrepreneurship institute, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you also to work with them if you're interested in that. So there's going to be some topics on creativity, design thinking, how to build an entrepreneurial, but also intrapreneurial mindset. And then you're going to be working on a business project that you need to deliver at the end of the program. And then the international weeks that I'm going to be talking about right now. So our program is very global. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to have this global outreach, not only through your peers that you're going to have in class, that you're going to be learning from, but then also besides the modules that are taking place in Barcelona and our campus in Madrid, there's going to be 3 modules, international modules. One of them is mandatory, and there you will have the choice to go to Berlin or to go to Dubai. And then we have 2 optional modules. One is going to take place in East Asia. In the past, our students went to Singapore. This year, they went to Korea. And then for the next intake, we're considering Japan. And then there's another, I would say, additional optional module, which is going to be in the States. So far, this module has been taking place in Boston, but we're now also considering Seattle for the next intake. Then besides that, in the last term, you're going to have the opportunity, well, to put together your own package of courses. Some of the courses are starting already earlier, so they're called electives. So those are courses that can be 1, 2, maximum 3 days long, depending on the course, and that have several topics. So Esade will publish a list of electives, and then depending on the topic, you choose. Some of the electives are also online if you don't want to travel. But then what is really interesting that we are working with more than 15 schools that they will also publish a list of electives that you have the opportunity to go and do those electives on their campuses. So, which is interesting for your network, because when you're going to be doing those, you will be in class with executives from those schools, right? So an interesting opportunity to enlarge your network, besides, of course, the peers that you have in class, the other executives from the other formats, and then also you're going to be mixed with them. When you're going to be doing electives, when you're going to be doing your study tours, you will have the opportunity to also get to know the executives that are doing the other formats. Besides that, I also want to mention that there is a great collaboration with our full-time MBA and executive MBA. So some of the electives you will be doing together, and there's also going to be networking opportunities. Now, the impact on your career, and Belén is going to tell you a little bit more about that, how Esade can help you. Just here, a brief overview. So you can see that 79% of the students were promoted in positions with more responsibility. Of course, we have those of you that are entrepreneurs that are not necessarily looking to a promotion in your own company, right? So that's why, I mean, it's still a very high percentage. We have a 55% average salary increase, and that is 1 year after completing the MBA. And then you can also see the average compensation based on the class of 21. The application process, very, very short, because we can have a personal call afterwards where I can explain you everything further into detail. But you will have to do an online application. Then we will ask you to do an admissions test, which can be the Esade test, which is free of charge. You can book that once you submit your application. Then there will be a personal interview with me, and then I will defend your application to the committee. We have a weekly committee, so the decisions are taken very fast from our side. Of course, we ask you to have an official bachelor degree, a minimum of 4 years of work experience, and then English level. Most of you are English native speakers. If that is not the case, you can, and you don't have an English certificate, then you can always do the English test, which is part of the Esade admissions test. Regarding the fees and the financing, you can see here the total tuition fee for the next intake, which is 69,500 euros, divided in a payment plan. We are offering an early bird of 4,000 euro. That is for all the candidates that enroll before the end of May. And now I'm going to tell you a bit more about the financing, which I'm sure is important for all of you. We are offering scholarship program for the Executive MBA. So you will see that we have different types of, we call it excellence awards. We have the Leadership Award, the Women in Business Award, the Diversity Award, the Entrepreneurial Mindset Award, and then the Forte Award, which is for women leaders. Now, last year, we were giving, I mean, those Excellence Awards scholarships going up to a maximum of 40% of the tuition fee. Now, this year, we have a new, I mean, scholarship, which is part of the Diversity Award. So you would have to apply for the Diversity Award, which automatically, coming from Africa, will consider your profile for the African Talent Award, where we are offering a 50% of scholarship. Now, the Forte Award is very interesting for our female candidates. And even if you apply for any other scholarship, we can then apply the Forte Award, because it gives you the benefit to become part of the Forte Association, which is a global association for female leaders, which gives you access to a lot of events worldwide. The loan program, a lot of our students are combining the scholarship with a loan program. And here, I mean, happy to give you more information in a personal session. We have 3 main loan providers, which would be applicable for African candidates, of course, depending on nationalities. One or the other would be more appropriate. Now, I'm not going to go into details here, just for you to let you know that those of you that are interested in looking for a job in Spain, this is possible. The process is a little bit different from our full-time MBA students that, of course, they are not working during the full-time MBA. They are based in Spain, so they can apply for those visas, including also the job-seeking visa, which is not applicable for the Executive MBA, while they are in Spain. Now, for all of you, I mean, I think all of you will be applying for a tourist visa, a Schengen multiple tourist visa. You will have to apply for this visa through the embassy or the consulate in your country. So the internship, I think, will not be applicable for most of you because of your experience, but then there's an employee visa, and highly qualified visa, a blue card visa, which is new, the nomad visa, entrepreneurship, and then the researcher. I'm going to send you this presentation so you can have a look at it. It gives more information about the processing time, the length of the permit, if you can work in the meantime while you're applying, if it's extendable, and so on, and then the required documents that are needed. Okay, so I would like to give the microphone now to my colleague Belén, who will tell you a bit more about the careers and all the activities that are taking place during the program.
Thank you, Ursi. Hello, everyone. So my name is Belén de Fontcuberta, and I am Associate Director at the Esade Careers team. Okay, so we are a big team. We are a global team. We are around 35 people. And let me make a brief introduction to explain my role. So from one side, what I do is to work with students, specifically with Executive MBA students, with hybrid students and monthly students, in order to support them in terms of career management. Okay, but we adapt the strategy to your situation. So even if there is a specific career journey, or specific EMBA career journey, after there are individual sessions that you can use and that you can, you can decide how to use it depending on your needs. So this is part of my role. And from the other perspective, what I do is I manage the relationship with companies, okay, big companies based in Spain, and big companies, big multinational companies from the industry sector, okay? At Esade Careers, what we call industry includes energy, healthcare, real estate, and consumer goods, okay? So what we do, what's your mission? Our mission is career management. For us, it's crucial. This is the career management of our students. And so we support for career development of participants in every step of their career journey, from self-discovery to career exploration and professional mentoring. It is important to know that apart from careers, also from the program perspective, from the academic perspective, we include what we call LEAD, a Leadership Development and Assessment Program. And this is a program of reflection, of learning and action to help you manage your process of change. So we are aligned. You work from the academic perspective, this LEAD program, and also with the results, these results may be used to plan your career, to create this action plan, or to consider your next steps based on your motivation, based on your interest, based on key aspects that will have an impact in your future decisions. Ursi, can we move on the next slide, please? So it is important to know that yes, there is an EMBA career journey, but you all have different expectations, different motivations, and also different added value. So it's about what do you bring to the table and what's your motivation. So you all have different career paths, okay? But yes, I want to share with you the career paths that our students used to follow, and this is or internal promotions or entrepreneurial projects, or they're looking to move to another company. So it's what we try to do it is to work with you. Yes, sure, from a group with group sessions that you are all invited, okay, for group sessions for EMBA students about topics related to this market research, to the self-awareness, to personal branding, network, but also apart from this, individual sessions, more focused on advising, one-to-one advising, one-to-one mentoring, that based on your needs, we will decide which will be the best action plan, okay? So it's not the same strategy for all of students. We understand that even if we try to find and identify synergies and collaboration, maybe with our full-time MBA students in a specific events or specific sessions, you all have different needs, and we try to adapt our sessions and the content and the speakers, okay, also to our Executive MBA students. But yes, it is important to know that we will try to consider these topics, to explore your best network strategy, to create your action plan, to find which are the gap analysis, okay, between what you're looking for and what do you bring to the table, okay? So we work a little bit from, I will say, from an individual perspective, okay, and more with our Executive MBA students. I can share with you some numbers. Ursi, we can move on the next slide. Thank you. And these are the numbers for the data from our Executive MBA that finished from our 2021 intake, 1 year after their graduation. So 1 year after the graduation, These are the numbers. So 42% moved to another company, 26% got an internal promotion, and 11% are developing entrepreneurial projects. These numbers may vary, so we haven't got not in all the intakes we have the same numbers. Yes, the balance used to be a little bit the same, okay? But it depends also of the profile of the participants, of the expectations, of many aspects that have an impact, okay, on these numbers. So in terms of working from a group perspective and an individual perspective with our Executive MBA students, and please take note that there is a specific career journey created for our EMBA students, but also we tried to adapt this career, we adapt this career journey for the different intakes, even if it is a hybrid, the monthly, okay, the weekly. So, but the services are the same, okay? So here on this slide, you can, you find our key services. So first of all, training sessions, okay? Training sessions that you will find during the program, sessions where we cover key aspects of career management. So career planning, to try to offer to our students a perspective of the market, a perspective of what you need to know or what you need to consider because we always open with this career planning session. We open the careers sessions. So training sessions, key skills for career management, career planning, interviewing, LinkedIn, offer negotiation, conversation with headhunters. And after you will decide how to use, based on your plan, based on your motivation, based on this action plan, we will discuss how to use this information, okay? But you are all invited, all our participants are invited to participate in these training sessions or on campus, during your stays on campus, okay? Or sometimes online, it depends. Advising, very important, okay? Yes, sure, the training, but also advising sessions, one-to-one, based on your needs, based on your motivation, based on your career path, based also on your timing, okay? Because this is important. With the Executive MBA students, you all have different circumstances, you all have different dots, different professional moments. So sometimes the timing is not the same for you, okay? So with this advising, this one-to-one and individual advising sessions, you decide when you want to use it. Our recommendation, it's always to do it after participating in the lead program, but it depends on your need and on your professional situation. Important to know that for these advising sessions, you have access to the careers team, first of all, to me and two of my colleagues, okay, that we all work with Executive MBA students, but also you have access to the team of employer engagement, that it's part of Esade Careers, and that we are organized by industries. I was telling you that I cover industry, but we are 4 people covering industry, so energy, real estate, healthcare, and FMCG. But apart from this industry team, yes, we have another team covering finance, another team covering impact, another team covering consulting, and another team covering technology. So what we do, we manage the relationship with companies in different industries. So our students, when they access to these advising sessions, if you need a specific support, a specific information related to a specific industry or a specific company, you can also access to the rest of the team. Okay, so you always have like a career advisor that is like your reference that you can ask questions, and through your career advisor, you can learn which are the resources that can help you, that can support you based on your needs. And it's important to know that when we speak about training and about advising and about careers, this is not only for the students that are looking for a career change. It's for everyone. It's for all our Executive MBA students based on their needs. Maybe they are looking to grow. Maybe they are looking to improve their team management skills. So maybe you are looking how to prepare an internal conversation in your company. So we are here to try to support you in all the different circumstances that are part of your career management and of your professional situations. And for this, apart from the training and advising sessions, networking, okay, different events, different activities that you will be invited to participate during your stay at Esade. First of all, conversations with headhunters. Apart from this, mock interviews with headhunters, also panels with companies, okay? Also other events that we combine with our MBA full-time, where you are invited to participate in order to understand the needs of different companies. So around the year, different networking opportunities for sure about your classmates, your professors, but as specific events where you will be invited and where you will have the chance to understand about market trends, about talent, about recruitment needs, about what's happening in these companies. And sometimes it's not only because our students are looking for a job or are looking for a new opportunity, but also because they have the interest of knowing what's happening in other industries. And also, if you want, or if our students want to work autonomously, okay, on key aspects of their career, we have different tools and that you can use. And depending on what do you need to explore, to prepare, to improve, we will decide what are the tools that we recommend to our students. Because, for example, we have tools focus on test preparation, tools focus on case preparation, tools focus on job offers, global job offers. So it depends, okay? And maybe there are some participants that use other tools because they need support in all the aspects, but we will decide which are the best digital tools for you, depending on what you need to prepare or to improve. Okay, yes, being an Esade participant, you can access for free to all these tools during your stay at Esade. So to conclude a little bit, Ursi, if you want, you can show the last slide to conclude a little bit what happens, okay, during your Esade Careers journey. It is important to know that you will combine, okay, different activities, different experiences. You can decide when, you can decide when, you can decide which are the services that you want to explore, that you want to use. Training, networking, advising, okay, digital tools, okay, all this happened during the EMBA. You decide, yes, there is a specific calendar for these training sessions, that when you start, there is a specific calendar that we cannot move, okay? But yes, in terms of advising, you will decide when to use, when to ask for this. It is important also to know that apart of the Esade Careers team, with this global perspective, with these 35 people, okay, and knowing that we are organized by programs, so people who work with Executive MBA, people who work with the rest of the programs, also a big part of the team that we work with companies, okay. Apart from this, there are other professionals that will be invited and that our participants meet during the program, speakers, trainers with strong professional experience in top business school, that they really understand the expectations of a student of Executive MBA students from Esade, okay? So you will also have the chance to meet them during these training sessions. Apart from this, for sure, headhunters, okay, with global perspective, with different experiences, with different specializations, that also participate during the Esade career journey. Companies from different industries, from different sectors, that will take place in the different EMBA talks or career fairs, Meet MBA, Meet and Connect, so different events that we organize. So headhunters, big corporations, startups, speakers, trainers. So it's not only the Esade Careers team, but also a pool of professionals that support us. And from the advising perspective, apart from these trainers, from these speakers, we also collaborate with a pool of advisors, an external pool of advisors that support of mentoring activity, that support of advising, because this pool of advisors, they all have a real match with the market. Okay, so they used to be headhunters, and they have all a different specialization: finance, technology, pharma, consulting, and I think I'm missing one. Yeah, energy, sustainability, and industry. So this pool of external, thank you, Ursi, this pool of external advisors, if I'm working with a participant and I consider that he needs a little bit more of support of overview of a specific industry, we ask these advisors to collaborate. We put our participants in contact with them, so they bring you like a bigger perspective or market trends of companies, and they have a real connection with the market. So as you see, it's not only about our team, that yes, we're a big team with different, and we offer different services, different tools, but also external professionals that support of activity having a real connection with the market. So for us, it's very important to be sure that we are helping you to manage your career. It's not only about looking for a job, it's not only about tomorrow, but it's about your future, okay? And so that's what we do, that's our focus, that's our mission. And we try to offer you all the possible resources, all the possible services that will help you during your stay at Esade to achieve, to create this action plan and to follow a little bit this action plan and to obtain a perspective of what's happening in the labor market. And so with all this information, you will decide what will be the best next step for you, okay? Which are the tools that you need to use, which are the conversations that you need to have, okay? And to decide which will be the best network for you.
Thank you so much, Belén. I mean, very, very interesting. And I'm sure we're going to be receiving some questions at the end. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I think, we're at a very important part, which I'm really excited about, and that's listening to our students. So I would like to welcome again Henry, Mponeng, Seshea, and Berna to join us today. And I would like maybe to ask you first question, maybe briefly introduce yourself. Where are you from? What is your professional experience? And yeah, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Maybe Henry, you can start as a senior.
We usually would say ladies first, so I was waiting for the ladies to start.
Okay.
I
mean, you're a minority, you can start.
No problem, my pleasure. Good evening, everyone. Henry Afekuana is my name, and I am originally from Nigeria, currently based in the Netherlands. Work-wise, I've been with Heineken for the last 10 years, and I've had different positions with Heineken. Currently on my job in the Netherlands, I work as a growth and transformation champion for Heineken, and I oversee different countries when it comes to digital transformation, strategy, and change management. I have worked with countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Congo-Brazza, DRC, New Zealand, Jamaica, La Reunion, and most recently, Namibia. I started the Esade journey, I think about 18 months ago, and I just left campus yesterday with our final business simulation and presentation to the team. So pretty excited to be here. Happy to connect with anyone who have questions after now or when I'm in your city. Just send me a message.
Thank you, Henry. How are you feeling now? Are you excited, sad, relaxed?
I think it's a bittersweet moment for me, right? Because it's been 18 months of quite a lot of new learnings, some validations of what you know before, but it also has been 18 months of meeting great people who you've had conversations, you've had the opportunity to work with them on assignments, on different projects, and now then you realize that, okay, I might not see these people again in a very long time. You know, maybe till the graduation in January where we have like our gowns on and all of that. But for me, I think it's exciting. I would miss the people, but I would also try to leverage all that I've learned and the network that I've created over the years. So bittersweet, I would say.
Great. Oh. All right, let's travel to South Africa. Mponeng, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, Mponeng Seshea, currently co-founder and managing director of Imizizi, which is a people management solutions company. It's been operating for 6-7 years now. And also Imizizi Evolution, which is a venture studio. That's still a bit new. We're still building that up. It's actually been very fun doing that. I don't know if you want to know about my track record, about my professional history, but I was a consultant for the longest of time in different industries. I started at PwC, and then I went to FMCG as I think it was SAP at the time. Now it's AB InBev. And then
Competition.
I moved my career
Competition.
up. No, used to be. Used to, no longer. I then went to EY, Ernst & Young, just here in South Africa. My last permanent role was in Moyo Business Advisory, Moyo Africa now, I think it is. They're a consulting company, and I was working with them there. So yeah, I joined Esade because I think I felt like I needed to develop myself. I'm very big on growth mindset, and I believe that everybody should always be looking to see how they could develop themselves. And I think for me at the time when I started Evolution, which is a venture studio focused on women-owned businesses in South Africa and the rest of Africa, my key thing there was, how do we develop strategies to ensure that we're not only becoming sustainable, these businesses, but grow like big. And so I was like, what is happening outside in the world? What's expected of us? And yeah, and I think I've gotten my deals with.
Thank you. Thank you, Mponeng. Well, this year we have for the first time representation from Rwanda. So we're very proud to have Berna with us. Berna, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So my name is Berna Rusagara. I'm from Rwanda. A little bit about myself. At the moment, I'm the Executive Director of Women for Women Rwanda. It is a local NGO that's been functional for over 17 years. My background is a little bit diverse in a combination of business and development. So I started off my career, my undergrad is in international development studies, and my background, my beginning work was in NGO world. And then I switched over to become a project management professional, where I started working in banking for a long time, in health tech, in healthcare, but with a combination of project, product, and understanding back end of businesses. Over the last 3 years, I've circled back to my passion, which is back to the NGO world. And alternatively, I believe in business for good. So I am 9 to 5 in the NGO world, and I also run family businesses, which are focused on hospitality. So maybe to what Mponeng was saying, for me, joining the MBA was the right time to enhance the current skill set. There's a combination of the passion that we've done, but also just being able to be competitive in the market. Being able to be competitive, we're all now in senior management positions, there's so many things we can talk about, but the number one thing is the right time to enhance the skill set, to be competitive, and to be able for me to connect those dots. I truly believe in business for good. So finding that combination was very key for me.
Thank you, Berna. Teshiro, how are you? I mean, I see that you're surrounded by a really nice beach.
when you give your system to a 10-year-old, they would come up with all sort of backgrounds. So yes, yes. Good evening, everyone from so it's evening here. I hope you're having a good day. I'm Efekuana Chinye-Nwoko. Currently, I lead an NGO, so Nigeria Solidarity Support Fund is a health NGO into child health vaccinations in Nigeria. I'm a medical doctor, so my background is medicine. So I started off being a clinician and seeing patients to coming into the NGO world to more program management in maternal and child health. And then I pivoted to consulting for international NGOs in Nigeria, then started leading this local NGO in Nigeria. Why MBA? When everybody was answering, I was wondering, what's my why again? I've forgotten so soon my why. I think firstly was that I wanted to close the knowledge gap. So I was leading an NGO, but I felt like I didn't have, I had experiential knowledge. I didn't have classroom knowledge. Which experience is good, but the experience is not the best teacher. So I felt that if I know better what to do, I would do it better at once. I wouldn't learn on my own experience. So I really wanted to build systems, saying that it was also a new organization. I wanted to build systems in the right way and not copy and paste from everywhere possible and just join them together. And one thing I actually learned is really here, one thing I've learned here is really what is the competitive advantage of the organization, rather than the me too sort of syndrome. And that's really has gotten me thinking, what's the distinguishing factor? Why the organization? So which, I wouldn't have, I hadn't seen it in that way. I just felt with the danger with development work and being a medical doctor is that you learn to do everything for good. And you never learn the organizational part of things. And so this is forcing systemic thinking, forcing sustainable thinking, and then forcing systems to the NGO world, which is rare. So yeah, so that's why I decided to do an MBA.
Thank you all of you for already answering what would be my second question about why have you decided to do an executive MBA program. Now I do have another question related to that. So why did you decide to do an executive MBA outside your country? Because I'm sure there are options in Nigeria, in Rwanda, in South Africa. So why did you decide to go abroad to do your executive MBA? And then also why Esade and why not another school, right? So maybe we can start with Henry again. Yeah.
Okay, I think I didn't even answer why I decided to do an MBA in the first place.
No,
so I would start with that. So for me, it was about dreaming again. So because I recently just moved from Nigeria to Europe, to the Netherlands, when a few months before I started my MBA. So I wanted to rediscover myself. I think everything career-wise was also going well for me and all, but I felt I needed a new spark in me, and that was why I decided to do the MBA. And the interesting thing about doing an MBA outside of my home country and outside of even my current place of residence was what the hybrid program presented to me. So like you showed earlier on, they have different models, but the hybrid program was really convenient for me. And I tried to find that same format in different countries, and I didn't find it. Prior to getting the admission with Esade, I had admissions with other schools, but they just did not give the same kind of flexibility that as a professional I wanted, because my job requires me to travel. And then if I'm going to combine that with having to travel every month, it was a bit difficult for me. So having the possibility to do a hybrid program with Esade and still keep the quality of teaching and experience, and also meeting the great network of people I met, for me, that was a deciding factor. So it was a no-brainer. And I also attended one of the open days on campus, and the first lecture I had was amazing. It was really great. I can still remember the topic till today, over 18 months. So it was really amazing, and I made the decision on the spot.
Thank you, Henry. What about you, Mponeng? Why outside of South Africa? Why Esade?
Yeah, so I think for me, when I started evolution, by the way, I had told myself I'm never ever studying ever again. Like I felt like I was done because a lot of work. But honestly, when I started evolution, I think like for Jiro, there was a knowledge gap, which I felt like I needed firstly to just bridge, because yes, I was going into business development, which is something I'm familiar with, and leadership and stuff like that. But what I wasn't familiar with was the venture building industry per se, and I wanted to understand better the perspective of just what the world thinks of Africa and South Africa in terms of business, economy, everything that is business related. And how do we then match those? I felt like for me, there would be especially because I know there's a lot of interest and attention towards the businesses that I'm looking to help develop and empower in funding them and accelerating them. But there's a continuous misalignment. So I felt like maybe there was a gap, that maybe there was a perspective we needed of the outside world and them of us. And I like I was saying, growth mindset, I felt like, how do I know more about what's out there if I don't go out there? And I think Esade was purely because of you. Ursi, when I met you, and I think you explained the values and the principles that Esade was built on, which was very much enlightenment and giving back knowledge. And I mean, the whole thing about do good and do better for me resonated, and I'm very much value driven in the things that I'm doing. So over and above the many what we'd compare in terms of where it is in the industry, how great it is. But for me, it was the core of how it was built and what is looking to impart on the students.
Thank you, Mponeng. Feshiro, what about you?
Okay. So why I wanted to study outside of Nigeria or Africa was purely because I wanted networking. I wanted to network with people that were out, that were not my current circle of people. So I wanted the multinational and international experience. Why Europe? I had my master's in London. I preferred Europe because I felt Europe was more intercontinental, more international than my experience in London, which was basically more British in the outlook. So I wanted more. I really wanted to meet more people from diverse culture. So that was why Europe. Why Esade? Truthfully speaking, I wasn't looking to Esade. I was just looking at first. So I had just registered on sites just with my email, and so Esade was the one that was aggressively chasing me. And when I attended this meeting sometime last year as well, and for some reason, I even remember to attend. Normally, I would register for things I don't remember to attend it. I only remember when it has passed. But funny enough, my life went on, and I remember that I attended it. And, I dropped a comment, and Ursi really sold me on it. And I felt like first foot matters a lot, right? The other people, I didn't have that personal touch. So they were waiting for me to either complete the form or go through the normal process. But Ursi had that personal touch, personal emails, and I felt that, this matters. It shows the value in the school. And truly, in my experience so far, there is the personal touch. And I feel like it's very important to have that, because we're all individuals, we're different. and lumping everybody into a template, look like checking a list. Or we've graduated so number of students and that's it. But these people are interested in you as a person, interested in your career, your business growth and development, and that has been true. So yeah, the school sold itself to me.
Thank you, Fejiro. Berna, well, I had the opportunity to meet you in person in Rwanda. I think Rwanda is an amazing country with a lot of talent. And I'm very happy, I mean, to have you in the program representing your country. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about why you decided to study outside of Rwanda.
So I don't think I actually decided to study outside of Rwanda. For me, my main goal was really to find the right fit where I could gain the knowledge. I don't think it was specific to a geographical location. However, the reasons for Esade were quite a couple. One part, I think it's Mponeng who mentioned it, was being able to have that global mindset. The more I researched about it, the more I could see a lot more connections. And as we all know, what an MBA is about, really. One of the key things is about building that network strategically. So whether, and this is something we can talk about as we go along, so whether it is through the programs, through the people, through the professors, through the follow-ups, that was very important for me. Selfishly as well, you want a university in great standing. If you're going to invest money, you want it to be in a university that is reputable and accredited. So that was very important for me. To pay attention to a university that has the right accreditation, so that in case I am a global citizen, if I have to travel anywhere, I am able to be fully competitive with the credentials that I have. So that was number two, and I think for me it's the main one. And the third one was really how seamlessly the application was eventually, and finding the right fit. I think looking at the overview of the programs showed exactly what I wanted. I cared about innovation, I cared about entrepreneurship, I cared about the inclusivity, where that was something that I mentioned about. I care most of the values that I embody, Esade had. So for me, it wasn't thinking so much to study outside, it was about a right fit. And that is the reason why I did. Thanks.
Thank you, Berna. I hope you don't mind, all of you, that we continue a little bit longer, maximum until 7:30, another 25 minutes. In case you need to leave, don't worry. But I think we have I have some other interesting topics that I would like to ask our students, and then also have some time for you to ask your questions. If you have questions, also feel free to put them in the chat, right? But at the end, I would like to invite you to open your microphone and then also ask your questions personally. Now, I would like to go like topic-wise, because some of you mentioned topics like global business and leadership. And so maybe to go further, deeper into the leadership development. So leadership, the leadership development program is part of the Esade curriculum. And I would like, and also a lot of you are looking to become, better leaders, to develop your leadership skills. So I would like to ask you, what have you learned on leadership skills and strategies during your MBA at Esade? And how have you applied them in your current job, and how can they be important for other executives that want to lead organizations in Africa? So who would like to take this topic? Who would like to talk a little bit more and share his or her insights?
Well, I can try.
Okay, perfect. Henry, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I was lucky and very privileged to be nominated as the class delegate of my cohort, which was quite interesting because I had the opportunity to lead people from very diverse background when it comes to culture, when it comes to way of work, and also when it comes to the industry in which they play. And I think most importantly, when it comes to seniority level, although I work in a very multicultural company, Heineken in the Netherlands, which is we have people from different places, but then I had to lead people where when you form a team, everyone is equal, and then there's no line manager on the team. Everyone is just on the same level. It gave me a different perspective to leadership, and I usually would say that one of the things one of my greatest learnings from leading the team would be you being able to represent a team sometimes in things that you do not agree with, but because the majority says this is what it is, you have to represent the team and speak to the school on behalf of people. It's something that you would struggle with at first, but after a while you understand that different perspectives, that you're not always correct, and you would understand different perspectives from different cultures, from different way of work, and it really shapes how you're able to lead also at work. It's very important, and it's helped me to really get a global perspective, like some of my colleagues have said in their previous speeches. Getting a global perspective for me has been one of the greatest things I've gotten from the MBA, in addition to the lead program that really helps in reflecting inwardly and understanding who you are first before you can even understand the world that you're in. So for me, I think those are some of the things I've picked out as great learnings during my journey. I would leave the rest for my colleagues to speak about.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to add anything here.
Yeah, I would love to. I think for me, just to add on to what Henry said, because I think he did touch on a couple of things that I was thinking about. But me, I think what has been very great was the perspective. It was the reinforcement that we forget about leadership, that it has a lot to do with me as a person, and how I need to develop myself continuously, and my perspective in decision making, in leading team, like he mentioned, in leading the organization through changes. I mean, one of the questions I had was, depending on, based on the class, what we were doing in class, it made me realize that depending on the type of business and where the business is, right? Whether it's small, big, or growing or mature, you need a specific type of leader. And even then, that leader needs to, there's always something else that you need to do and elevate and see. There's emotional intelligence, understanding your playing ground, understanding your people. I felt like it was a reinforcement that what we glaze across, that the human needs to develop into the leader that they need to be.
Okay, thank you. I would like to go to the next topic now that I have you, Mponeng. And so Esade has a very strong focus on entrepreneurship and innovation. For those of you that are entrepreneurs or that want to become an entrepreneur, there's so many, I would say, opportunities and activities that you can add to the program, right? And I mean, I'm always impressed when I meet executives in Africa, how innovative, how entrepreneurial they are, and how Africa has a lot of challenges, but also, I mean, when I see executives there and talk to them, their passion of wanting to drive economic growth in their country and contribute on the development in their country, right? So I would like to ask you, Mponeng, because I know that you're working on several projects there on entrepreneurship. What has been your experience there, and how have you applied what you learned on entrepreneurship in your current projects?
So the entrepreneurship has actually been very, very good, because I think for me, there was an understanding that there's a lot that we don't consider when we start business. And even when I mean, for me, the venture building business is meant to be assisting other business to do better. But what I realize is that as entrepreneurs, we have this brilliant idea, like you rightfully said, and we're very passionate about it, right? And then we just start a business. We don't spend enough time assessing whether, firstly, does this business make sense in the market that I'm in? One of the things that we did, I saw in the ELP when you guys were talking about careers. For me, that was so crucial because it's experiential leadership program, right? But it made me realize that for entrepreneurs, and this is what I'm now putting back into entrepreneurs, is you need to assess the founder, you need to assess the business idea, but you also need to understand the industry that you're playing in for the business to actually ever be able to grow. Because if you don't understand your playing ground, how are you even coming up with strategies to be able to grow the business? That's the one thing. And then the other is just so I'm working a lot with Esade. They are entrepreneurial sister program actually. So they've really been helpful. And I think for me, that's one of the key things that I found, that, you know, it's not just talk, it's not just lip service, there's the work that actually is done. So from using the alumni to saying, there's a program that needs to be done, or there's a project that needs to be done. Do you guys have expertise in these kind of things, because this entrepreneur needs your assistance? But that was also a shift in my thinking to say, as we're building these businesses, maybe one of the better, easier ways to actually get things done is not always wanting to hire people, wanting to do it by yourself, but connect with people, call onto your networks and call your friends and see what they can do, and how you then formulate models to actually help things work. So I think for me, it's been really grateful to shift how we've thought of business in a very traditional sense.
For those of you that are in South Africa, I just wanted to do a brief announcement that we are designing a workshop together with Mponeng that is going to take place in Johannesburg on the 10th of September, together with the president of our alumni chapter, who's Claudia Castellanos, who's based in Eswatini. She's a social entrepreneur. So, we're excited about this event taking place, and we will, send you more information if you would like to join the workshop when we come closer. Now, another topic, I think, which is also, and also part of the values of Esade, is social impact, right? And Esade has a social impact lab. Whatever program you're doing, there's always, the Executive MBA has a course on sustainability, but then also electives, a lot of ways to have this connection with the social impact environment and sustainability. So maybe that's a question for Efejiro and for Berna, right? Because you are actively working on social impact. So I would like to ask you, I know that you're not far yet in your journey with Esade, but have you seen already any, I would say, changes that you made in your business focused on social impact and sustainability that, thanks to your Executive MBA, that has helped you make changes and are thinking differently? Maybe who wants to start? Berna?
Sure. You're right. It's still far in. We're still very early on in the journey for me to say that. And I think at the moment I had focused on a little bit of the complementary aspects of the program so far. But in our case studies that we've had so far, every case study has that aspect. So you're going to be able to think about the social impact, what way you can work with partnerships. And for me, it really emphasized my thinking mentality. So I would say through our case studies, this has been highlighted. But of course, there are also some trends that are already identified, such as environment. And you end up finding that this is already incorporated from a case study point of view. So Ursi, I hope that is helpful. For us, it's from a case study point of view at the moment. Over to you, Efejiro.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Berna. Okay, so for me, I think that I can say that beyond the fact that even for the for-profit businesses now, all have a very strong focus on sustainability and social impact, so that it's really very relevant for everyone. And that comes out in the lectures. But I think for me, the bigger picture is that everything that I've learned has been applicable to my work. So again, I said that an NGO is not really very different, or social impact is not so much different from businesses. Businesses or for-profit businesses, yes, they're there to make the money, but it's the same strategic thinking. You have to think about it. You have to think, what is my strategy? You have to think of what is the geopolitical trends. You know, what's the geopolitical trends for even your social impact work? You have to, if it's financial analysis, you have to know finance. You have a book to keep. So I feel like it's not very different at all. Yes, in the terms of what value are you bringing? Yes, your value, even the focus, even for profit, is moving from money to value. Everybody is moving to value. Even marketing now, it's what's the value? It's beyond whether, and same thing. So for even businesses have to showcase value, and not, people are not just going to buy something because it is good to have. What is the value? What job is that doing? And the same thing with social impact work. What value, what impact is that to the society? So it's very relatable. And I think for me, especially, helps sustainability. A lot of businesses in Africa are not very long. They're not transgenerational. They are not long. There's no longevity. So, and it's because of these foundational issues, because of these systemic issues. So you don't have businesses that are 100 years old. Very few of them are 100 years old, because we just think of ideas and, oh, it's a good idea, let's do it. Let's turn it into a business. But no, if we think of it from a systems perspective, from a strategy lens, from an economic landscape lens, from a geopolitical trend lens, we'll begin to form organizations that can outlive us. So both for NGO work, so you can imagine there are NGOs that have lived for a long time outside of Nigeria in the West, but you hardly have that, especially local entities in Nigeria, because it just ends with the vision. Yeah, it's because the vision is not beyond one person, and it's not globally relevant. So that's why it ends when the person dies. So, you know, that sort of thing. So I feel like it's very relevant for both the social impact, and then now even businesses are looking to value and more social impact and sustainability. So it's very good.
Thank you, Fejiro. I think we can have a very last question, and then we can go to the Q&A. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about talent development, because I mean, all of you are managing people, right, in your companies, and I would like to ask you if the MBA has provided you any new insight into, like, well, effectively managing your talent management strategies. So I don't know who would like to talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, I can go. So simply, I every template I receive, I import it to my organization, just simple. Like, I use all the frameworks, I use all the templates that we get. I just literally copy and paste. So that helps the team, and they find it very useful. Even some case studies, I share it with my team and we discuss it and we brainstorm, even if maybe just the management level or everyone. We discuss those. The blue-red innovation one, those very important, I'm sure Berna and Berna knows what I'm talking about. The innovation case study, we looked at it and we're like, okay, so where are we? Are we red, innovating? Are we blue? You know, are we white? Are we, you know, so what I'm trying to say is that for me, I take the resources and I use it to develop my staff, and I think they go better for it. The downside, I'm currently losing a staff because they are crazy about AI, and I introduced them into the different AI tools based on school and all the AI tools, and now she's leaving to go and pursue a career. Yeah. So that's the but it's a good part of it. But we develop people, but I'm definitely sharing every resources that I have in my team straight up.
Thank you. Who else would like to add something on this topic?
Yeah, maybe I can try. So around change management and talent management. So for me, it's my job has to do a lot with change management, which also involves managing people in different countries and managing talents in different countries. For me, I've been able to apply quite a lot in what we do in school and like Fejiro really translating it to what I do at work. And I think that's why it's great if you have some experience while joining this program, or if you're actively working or you actively have a business, you're doing something, because you can immediately apply the things. So the things you're being taught are not something from 100 years ago or things that do not apply in recent times. You can immediately apply what you're learning. And for me, that's the value I get out of it. So it's been really exceptional getting these tips and using them immediately.
Thank you, Henry. All right. I see. Maybe we can go to the questions from our attendees. And I see that Aaron Akampa. Hi, Aaron. You were asking if you could get any advice from the students on the work-school balance. I mean, all of our students have a demanding job. I'm sure they're going to agree with me. So he's asking, what kind of adjustments did you have to make to your personal and professional life to make it work? Who would like to answer that question?
I'll start.
Okay.
I'll start and because sure, that is actually, Aaron, is a very good question. It's something that, you think about it, but I don't think I quite got the depth of how hectic it is until I was at the school. But once I started, I realized that firstly, I need to just dedicate a day, which was actually very good, to just dedicate a day for studies. I first started with just dedicating a few hours a day, but I realized that didn't work. So I dedicated like a full day where I'm like, okay, this is just the Saturday, right? And I think even for work, there's days where, and times I had to be very clear, firstly, inform everyone at the office that I'm studying now. And there's times that I will not be available. And even the way that I started engaging my team, because I didn't want to have to sit in meetings that were unnecessary, I started delegating it more. I didn't want to be in a lot of more meetings. So if something could be a phone call rather than a meeting, I would really push for stuff like that, which actually helped us become a bit more efficient by me not having enough time to be able to do a lot of what I thought was needed of me operationally. But I think just making sure in your calendar you've set time for school and then set time for personal stuff. I even use my daughter as a reminder for either school or other things, but it gets them involved in what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And we talk about financial analysis because she's learning accounting for the first time. So just getting your family engaged as well, I think, is always so good.
Right. Any other comments?
Okay, so I think go ahead.
Go on, Fejiro. No, go on.
Okay, to add to Berlin, I actually did that. I'm actually doing that 1 day study thing a week. But I think that don't underestimate the amount of work that it is. I think that's the greatest mistake, was underestimating the level of work that needs to be done. So if you need to register in a library so that you force yourself into study mode, you may have to do that. Like you just, it's a lot of work, and it could take, it could catch up with you last minute if you don't have systems. So I was just say, don't underestimate it. It's a lot, but it's doable. So if Henry can do it, I'm sure we can.
I think we were thinking in the same direction. Seriously, it's a lot of work, and the beauty of it, or the truth about it, is that MBA is not a joke, right? No matter the school where you do it, even if you're doing it full time, if you're doing it online, it's not a joke. It takes quite a lot from you. But then if you want to go into it and you want to put in the effort, then you would get good stuff out of it. If you want to do shabby work and just submit projects that are not really thought through, then you won't get so much out of it. So it really depends on what you give in. For me, first of all, I don't know how it is for subsequent sets. You had to choose between Friday and Saturday. I chose Saturday. I'm like, I don't want anything during the work days. I just want Saturday. For some people, especially people in Europe, they're like, no, I don't joke with my Saturdays. On Saturdays, I go out with family, I go out with friends. I cannot do anything on Saturdays. But for me, Saturdays was best. So just look at your personal situation, look at what works for you. It's possible blocking a day out to study would help you. It's possible maybe doing 2 days, 2 hours every day. It depends. It depends on who you are, how well you're able to disconnect from your everyday life and properly study. Yeah, some people are fast readers. Some people need to devote some more time into reading stuff and watching videos and connecting with people from different continents and time zones. So you need to take all of that into consideration and just try to adjust everything to suit who you are as a person.
Thank you, Andrew. Maybe what I didn't detail in the beginning is the format of the program, right? So, I mean, I did say that we have face-to-face weeks, which are going from Monday until Saturday. So we have 3 mandatory weeks in Barcelona, 1 in Madrid, and then 1 international one where you choose between Berlin and Dubai for the next edition. And then we have 2 optional. So in total, 7. And in between, so those are weeks that are taking place every 2-3 months, depending on the month. But then in between, every Friday or Saturday, you have online classes. You can choose Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, right? So this is the structure of the program, just because it was maybe not clear from the beginning. I don't know, Mponeng, if you wanted to add something here. If not, I go to the next question. And no? All right, so there was a question from Usman regarding the years of experience. No, I mean, the average work experience, of course, is 14 years, but we don't require 14 years. So I did mention that we might have a student that is 30 years that has maybe 8 years of work experience working as an entrepreneur or working in a family business. So we're going to be selecting our candidates really based on the experience that you have, which can be a very solid work experience with 7 years. So it doesn't have to be 16 years. All right. Is there any other question? Feel free. We still have a couple of minutes. Who would like, feel free to switch on your microphone to ask your question. Wants to go? Nobody? No. Okay, if there's nobody, then I have, well, one last question and maybe share if you had any challenges. I'm sure you had before you started the program, during the program, that you would like to share with our attendees here, and at the same time, maybe an advice what you would like to give candidates. Yeah, I think we can add with that. We can end with that question. Who would like to?
Sure, I'll go first so that because I have to jump off.
Yeah, you have to leave. You told me. Yeah, no
I have to leave.
Yeah.
So the question is challenges in the program, and also I guess our main takeaway. So interestingly, for me, the challenge my own personal challenge has really been the question that you had before that Aaron brought up, which has been a little bit of time management, because it's such a condensed program in a very good way. It's such a condensed program, and it can sneak up on you, as I've mentioned. A couple of assignments will come up, and so that time management was one part of it. But on the other side, how to mitigate that, I think my colleagues have already mentioned it. But then there is also being able to strategize particular teammates that you're working with. Most of our case studies have a couple of people you're working with, and you will tend to know the strengths and the weaknesses of each other and how you can work on that. So for me, that is one part of it that has been challenging, that I'm continually trying to learn. But it's a good adrenaline. I don't know how to explain it. It gives you, after you're done, you really feel that energy. And we have these amazing activities where we have different case study challenges, and you really feel it. For example, today we're doing negotiation. And it's a very, very intense intense example. Now, what I would look out for in terms of or any advice, I would say, one thing that I forgot to mention was how diverse our current class is. As you could see, we have some medical doctors here, some people in creative industries. So just being able to learn and grow from each other. I think Ursi mentioned something very important, that professors have practical experiences, and you will have companies come over with practical examples. And I think that is very important for an MBA, having that practical touch. So my advice would be to just keep on with the open mindset to learn. And we're here. I just wanted to say I'm also available if you have any other questions throughout. Ursi can share our contact information. And all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Berna. Bye-bye. See you in 2 weeks on campus. All right. Who wants to go next?
I think I can just wrap up from my end.
Yes.
So for me, I'm very happy also to connect with anyone. If you have questions, you have concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will be in Namibia in the middle of May. So if you have people from Namibia, I will be there for about a week. I can connect with them and looking forward to sharing all of the insights about Esade.
Thank you, Henry.
Okay, so thank you, Ursi, for the opportunity, and glad to meet everyone. I'm happy to reach out to help in any way. If you need clarity on anything, I'm happy to help. I'm in Nigeria, so yeah, but I'm an email or a phone call away. Thank you.
Thank you, Feshiro.
And
you're the last. Some wise words. Some wise words.
So yeah, I think Berna actually spoke through a lot of the challenges. I mean, anything has challenges. I think it's just how you then just ensure that you get back to it, because some of it is just what you didn't expect. I think for me was some of the challenges. I didn't expect the besides what the amount of work, maybe it was the engaging with the different people from the different countries just to set up a meeting, I think has been one of our biggest challenge, because sometimes it will be like 10 o'clock for me, but you know, someone else is ready to have the meeting, and what do you do? So I think just being a compromise that has actually been very good, and grow through that has been good. And yes, I'm also happy to share anything else. I'm reachable. Also will give our contacts, I'm sure.
Thank you. Yes, I will for sure be sending you the recording of the session in case you want to rewatch it or send it to anybody that could be interested. So I will be doing that by the end of the week together with the presentation, and then also the contacts of our students. So well, I would like to thank Mponeng, Berna, who already left, Feshiro, Henry, for joining us here, for sharing your insights, always being very collaborative, and being a good promoter of Esade. Henry, you want to say something?
Yeah, just for those in Rwanda, Bola is currently in Rwanda for 1 week. So Adebola Adeyemi, we'll see.
Oh,
yeah, so
great. Okay, good.
Yeah,
I have some
hi.
I have some candidates in Rwanda. I don't know. Aaron is from Uganda. I know if you're going with back and forward. Are you traveling to Rwanda?
I will be in Rwanda May the 24th. I don't know if that may be too
Daniel
far.
is in Uganda already. So Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm close
okay.
to Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel introduced me to Aaron. So
okay,
there's
perfect.
already a connection. Anyway, so and then also Belén, thanks for joining us, because I think it's very insightful, and to also have this, I mean, this information about what's going on leadership development, on career activities, which of course is, I mean, important for a lot of you, because at the end you're doing Executive MBA because you want to bring change, right? And boost your careers. So we're very happy with the support that you're receiving from our colleagues at Careers. They're always very, very available to talk, to have chats with you if you have any questions. So yeah, I mean, their help is very valuable. Thank you, Belén.
And for South Africa, Mponeng, if you need a connection with the MD of South Africa, he's also an Esade alumni of Heineken. The Heineken, yeah.
Yes,
Also, you know him, Jody. Jody is an Esade alumni.
So Jordi Baroud, he's the CEO of Heineken, South Africa. He did the MBA at Esade a long time ago. So he's also an alum that he's Spanish, of course. He's not African, but he's been working with Henry, with all the other students we have from Heineken, from Nigeria. So yeah. All right. So from my side, I would be very happy to talk to you personally if I haven't done yet, to hear more about your aspirations and see how we can help, to tell you more about the application process and all the financing and so on. So feel free to reach out to me. And then, I mean, I wish you, for all of you, it's evening, right? So I wish you an relaxing evening, and I hope to be in contact with you and hopefully see you on campus in November. That would be great. All right. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Ursi.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.